I turned the HOA's ridiculous accusation that my garage was a post office into their worst nightmare when I listed everything inside as free pickup online and watched chaos descend on our perfect little neighborhood. How would they react when a local news showed up calling it an HOA-sponsored community giveaway? I never thought my simple hobby would make me enemy number one in Fairmont Hills. It started last spring, right after I retired, and found myself pacing around the house more than I liked. My daughter, Leah, suggested I clear out the garage and maybe sell some of my old collections online. "Dad, you've got treasure in those boxes," she said, pointing to decades worth of vintage radios, model trains, and baseball cards. The first few sales felt incredible. Each package I shipped connected me to someone who valued these items like I did. Soon, my garage had a modest packing station, a folding table, some boxes, bubble wrap, and mailing supplies. Nothing fancy, but it gave me purpose. My trouble began on a Tuesday. I was sealing up 3 packages when a sharp knock echoed from the garage door. There stood Helen Buckley, arms crossed, lips pursed, HOA clipboard in hand. "Mr. Walker," she began without pleasantries, "several neighbors have expressed concern about your operation." I laughed softly, just sending off some old radios and cards to fellow collectors. "Want to see this 1950s Zenith headed to Texas?" Helen's eyes narrowed. Fairmont Hills bylaws prohibit operating businesses from a residential property. "This is a neighborhood, not a commercial zone." "It's not a business," I replied, still smiling. "I'm retired. This is a hobby. I'm just selling off my collection." She snapped photos with her phone. "The committee will review this. There's been a noticeable uptick in deliveries, and frankly, your garage looks like a fulfillment center." "Helen, I've lived here 15 years. You've been to my barbecues. This keeps me busy." "Rules are rules," she said, walking off. "Expect a formal notice." 3 days later, I got it. An official violation letter citing my garage as an unauthorized postal facility. They demanded I cease all shipping within 72 hours or face $100 per day fines. I called Eric Murray, the HOA president, hoping for reason. "Eric, I'm just a guy selling off his stuff. This is absurd." His voice was weary. "I understand, Ben, but Helen documented over 30 pickups this month. That's beyond what the board can overlook. So, 29 would be okay." "I can't override the board's vote." He didn't have to say it. Helen controlled the board. She'd only been here 5 years, but in that time she turned into our neighborhood's self-appointed enforcer. Measured grass with rulers, reported trash bins not brought in on time, the whole bit. That night, I saw her watching my house from her front window. When we made eye contact, she raised her teacup in a smug little toast. "My neighbor Dave stopped by. Heard about the HOA, Ben. Helen's been calling your garage Amazon East at the book club. It's ridiculous. I'm not bothering anyone." He hesitated. "She's claiming your deliveries are attracting theft. Says her camera caught a suspicious guy after a drop-off." "That's paranoid nonsense." "Yeah, but she's persuasive. Half the street's nervous." I couldn't sleep. 15 years, no complaints, no issues. Now I was public enemy number one for mailing baseball cards. I sent a respectful email to the board with photos of my tiny setup. Only Eric replied, "The decision stands. Compliance expected in 48 hours." The next day, Diane from 3 doors down waved me over. "I'm on your side, Ben," she whispered. "But be careful." Helen harassed me over painting my door navy instead of approved coastal blue. I had to repaint. Cost me $300. "This is different." "Doesn't matter," she said. "This is about control. She needs to win." That afternoon, Helen and Eric drove past my house, both staring at my closed garage door. That's when it hit me. This wasn't about zoning. It was about power. At the emergency HOA meeting, Helen presented her slideshow, zoomed-in photos, graphs of delivery truck traffic, even an alleged drop in home values. When I spoke, I kept calm. "I'm selling my own possessions. I'm retired. This is a hobby." Helen interjected, citing Section 7, Paragraph 3. Prohibits use of residential property for commercial enterprise. Neighbors shifted uneasily. Some nodded with me. Others bought into her panic. The board voted 5-2. Violation upheld. As I stood in the parking lot watching Helen laugh with Eric, something changed inside me. I played fair my whole life. Served in the Navy. Worked 40 years. Never missed a payment. I didn't deserve this. The next morning, I woke early. Coffee in hand, I snapped photos of everything in my garage. Radios, trains, tools, furniture, books. I posted each item to Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and Nextdoor. Free pickup only. Fairmont Hills, HOA cleanout. Everything must go. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Then I created a Facebook event. Court-ordered HOA community giveaway. When Leah called to check on me, I said cheerfully, just following their rules. By Saturday morning, my driveway was packed. I sat in a lawn chair, sipping coffee, as the first cars arrived at 7:15. By 8:30, the street was chaos. People carted off items with smiles. My standard reply? HOA said I had to empty the garage. So here we are. At 9:15, Helen burst out of her house. What is this circus? Community giveaway, I replied, following HOA directives. You're causing a nuisance. Giving away my own property? Against the rules, too? She sputtered and stormed back inside. An hour later, Eric showed up. Ben, you have to stop. This is retaliation. No, Eric, this is compliance. A woman nearby chimed in. This is such a lovely event. Thank you for organizing. Eric's face turned beet red when he saw the banner across my garage. Sponsored by Fairmont Hills, HOA President Eric Murray. Take that down. Is it false? I asked. He faltered. We never approved this. Your board ruled my garage was a commercial facility. I'm dispersing its contents. By 11 a.m., the local news van arrived. Helen had called them to report a disturbance. Instead, they covered it as a charitable community event. When the reporter approached, I smiled into the camera. Thanks to the HOA for helping me reimagine what it means to be a good neighbor. Behind me, someone knocked over Helen's decorative mailbox. Her scream echoed down the street. Eric pulled me aside. Call it off. We'll meet tonight. Violation rescinded. Apology issued. Whatever you want. Put in writing. He nodded, jogging to his car for paper. By nightfall, my story was all over social media. The footage of Helen shouting at the news crew went viral. The next morning, Eric came to my door. His face was tired. Ben, the board voted. Violation rescinded. We want you on the rules committee. Me? The problem child? You showed us a new way. Neighbors stopped by with muffins and ideas. A community garden, a playground update, block parties. My garage turned into a planning hub. Even Helen showed up with an apology and an offer to help. Before I joined the board, she said, people liked me. I lost sight of that. By summer's end, Fairmont Hills had transformed. My revenge had sparked something bigger, a true sense of community. Now my garage hosts weekend gatherings. Helen organizes charity drives. Eric laughs more. And when a new family moved in, it wasn't a violation notice they got. It was a welcome basket. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't punishment. It's progress.